Hello, Candy. Candy? Hello.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay. We'll wait a couple minutes and see if anybody else joins us.
Okay.
How's your day going?
Uh, it's hot and I'm tired.
Where do you live?
Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This we've had a lot of rain, so it's been kind of cooler, but not much.
We haven't had too much rain. I think we're supposed to get some tomorrow, but and it's going to be hot again.
You haven't been part of that storm
Yeah, just a little bit of it though.
from Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and mute you. If somebody else
Okay.
goes up, I'll welcome them. Let's go ahead and start the last week, the week 5 live meeting of the Introduction to Paralegal Studies course. And we're wrapping up the course with just the one chapter. And this chapter is important because one of the important skills that you're going to have to learn and that you're going to do, probably the most important, is doing legal research. And I always like to start this section with a little story about when I was a young lawyer. And the difference is the computer and the internet. They have revolutionized the law practice just like so many other professions and businesses that I don't know how we did without the computer and the online research that you can now do. And my sad story as a young attorney was prior to the internet and computers, and they still are, of course, all of the case law that you're going to be researching was in volumes of books in a law library. And you can imagine the number of cases that are decided just in any state every day. So this is an enormous amount of space. And to do legal research on a particular case, it involved going to the law library and sitting there for hours and hours reading these the reporters, the Westlaw case reporters, for having to read them, sit there, find the volume you needed, bring it back, look for the page. It was very time consuming, and the amount of time involved, depending on the kind of case that you were looking for, was could amount to many hours of research. So where are we today? We are one click away from hundreds, even thousands of cases. And the use of the internet and the computer to do online legal research is just phenomenal. That you are so within minutes, you're going to do a job. Have we got somebody else joining us? Hi. Hi. Ms. Payne? Ms. Payne, can you hear me? So the idea that the internet has the computer and the internet have revolutionized legal research is obvious beyond any explanation. The authors probably put this chapter in the book just to kind of give you a flavor for what you'll be doing. The college has a course involving online legal research, and so you're going to be studying this in more detail. And really, this is just kind of a way to get you introduced to what's involved with doing the research. And the one area the authors give you an idea of one particular area. There is a website called Find Law, and Find Law they have a screenshot of the Find Law website, and this is a good source for if you're trying to narrow down your search to a particular area of the law. They have some good articles that explain different legal concepts, and so it's a good resource for someone just starting out. And of course, it's free. That's the other advantage that to doing a legal research project. Now, many of the legal research, many of the searches that you're going to do are going to involve some strange thing called Boolean search operators. And Boolean search operators were developed hundreds of years ago by a mathematician who was able to organize how searches are performed. And we're still using these Boolean search operators today. And the authors on page 245 give you an example of how these operators work. And the operators are simply using connectors to terms. The connector and, or, and not are illustrated on page 245. And how they work is if you enter a search, Georgia and bankruptcy and forms, the first illustration here, the database that you're using will return will search all of the case law, and it will return every case that mentions Georgia bankruptcy in their Georgia bankruptcy forms. So that's the reason for the colored area between the three circles. They will return all of those cases. Now, just the cases that have all three of those terms. Now, if you use or, you notice under the second example, vehicle, car, automobile, then or will give you every example, every case involving if it just says vehicle, you'll get a case. If it just says automobile, you'll get a case. If it just says car, you'll get a case. So you'll get many more cases. Now the last one, the not connector, will eliminate certain terms. So if you enter gambling, not online, not internet, then it'll only return cases that involve gambling where the internet or online are not involved. So it will be other types of gambling. So it's a way to limit your search, to try to make it quicker. Obviously, time is always important in doing legal research. Now, the two main databases are Westlaw and Lexis, and these are the paid databases that most law firms are going to use, and both now allow you to use plain language so that you can enter a issue just using the plain language, and it will search the cases that you're looking for. But it's a good idea to learn these Boolean search operators. There may be a situation where you have to use them. Now, the problem with Westlaw and Lexis are they are very expensive, and searches are by the hour, and you can imagine the searches are expensive to use both Westlaw and Lexis. So there are some free sources that you can use initially to try to explain the area of the law you're searching, just to get a good background to begin the search. I've already mentioned FindLaw, which is a good source for just trying to look for a particular area of the law that you don't understand or you're confused with. So that one is going to be a good source. Also, Cornell Law School, and you notice on page 45, the authors give you the website, the web address to find it, law.cornell.edu. Cornell Law School has a very good database that they have developed. There are other law schools also that you could search, so that there are some free areas that are available to you to do your legal research. But generally, if you're working for a law firm and they can afford the paid databases, that's the areas that those are the two search operators that you're going to use. Now, I'm kind of partial to Westlaw, as I've already told you. And when we talk about Westlaw, the part that I think is important is their key site system. And we've already talked about this key site system, and it developed when Westlaw was just publishing the volumes in books. And the advantage of key site is that it organizes the law and breaks it down into various areas to make it easier to do searches. Now, many lawyers prefer Lexis, and there's not, I don't think, a lot of difference in how the searches are performed. And Lexis has some advantages over Westlaw, and I'm just kind of partial to Westlaw because of the key site system. Now, I want to also mention something called Shepard's citations. And this may not make a lot of sense when you're just starting out, but here's the advantage of Shepard's citations. When you're doing legal research, and let's say you find a case that was decided in 1980, and you want to use that case in your research and to support your client's position, here's what Shepard's allows you to do. And you can put your case, the citation again, remember the number of the volume, 250 Southwest, page 195. That is the site for the particular case that you're researching. If you put that into Shepard citations, you can bring that case to a current date within a month. And the advantage is, in Shepard's, it will show if that is still good case law, because the worst thing you want to do is to be citing a case to a judge and it's decided in 1980 and your opponent states, well, Your Honor, that case was reversed in 2000. There'd be nothing more embarrassing. You'd never want to have to do this. That just shows you're dumb. And so there's where Shepard's, with the cases that you're using, you update what are they? Is that still good law? The cases that you're citing. So that's the advantage of Shepard's, and of course, it of course is online now, along with all of the search, the various search areas. Now there are some other databases that you can use, and the author describes them as alternative online programs. And what these are again, some of them are free, some of them are not, but you are able to search case law under these particular databases. The PACER database is specifically for the federal courts. And so you can use PACER free of charge. It's open, to anyone can access the cases, and PACER collects all of the decisions of the district courts, the trial courts, the District Court of Appeals, and of course the U.S. Supreme Court, so that is available free to do your research on. Now, another one called FastCase is a database of only U.S. Supreme Court cases. And again, this is free, and you can go onto the website and search any U.S. Supreme Court decisions. The authors say from 1924, so that's a lot of cases. Lois Law is not free, but it is less expensive than the two paid databases, Westlaw and Lexis. So that Lois Law is a good source for smaller firms that maybe can't afford the more expensive databases. They can subscribe to Lois Law. It's priced a lot less expensive. And so many small firms can use Lois Law. They have as large a database, I would think, as the other two, but it's going to be at a lesser cost so that smaller firms could use that. The last one, CaseMaker, is a database that is available through the state bar associations. And so, of course, any attorney that you'd be working for would be has to be a member of the state bar. And CaseMaker is provided free of charge through the bar association. And so you would be able to do searches based on the idea that is available free. And again, maybe using the free sites, you could gather some of the cases you were interested in. And then if you needed to narrow it down and do a more extensive search, then you would use the paid databases. Now, one of the other advantages of using the databases, especially Lexis, is you can search for people and companies. And in many cases, you're maybe attempting to sue a particular individual or a particular company, and you want to gather some information about them. You can do searches, especially on Lexis, for this kind of information. So it isn't just legal research that you're going to be doing. You're going to be doing these kinds of investigations to locate someone that you want to sue. You may want to find assets of these individuals, so that you want to find out their residence, where they live. The companies may have numerous offices throughout the United States, and so you're able to identify them through that. So that this is another way to use the databases for your searches. That concludes the our week 5 live meeting, and Candy, you have any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. You all have a good rest of the week.
You
Thank
too.
you. You too.
Good luck on this final.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Larry, I do have a question.
Sure.
Because I've been out, with me submitting the paperwork and doing the final, is that okay? Because I've been out, or do you guys need that paperwork?
Oh, to prove you were sick?
Yes, sir.
No. I trust you.
Thank you. But I'm glad to be back. I'm excited. I had my surgery, so everyone's like, don't go to work, but I'm already at work. And I've been doing homework all night.
So you are feeling better, and
10 times better. They actually did the surgery last week, and I just been in recovery.
oh, great. Well,
I'm actually back to 100%. The kids are excited to have mom home, and I'm excited to be home with them.
yeah, that's great. That was a quick recovery. Okay, you all have a good weekend.
You too.
Okay, bye.